We keep talking about the opportunities that crypto bring to us. It is because we don't believe in the existing financial monetary system. One thing that we don't talk about, and this is going to be a serious one, is the scams within the crypto market. Yes, there's opportunities, but on the back of that, with a speculative asset, with a new asset class which is up and rising, you get scams. And that's what we're going to talk about because any of the OGs that's been in crypto for years now, 95% of us at some point have been scammed. So we've got the war wounds and we're here to teach you how to prevent being scammed yourself. And this really is one of the most important topics that we don't talk about enough. Everybody that's been in crypto for years, or pretty much anybody, has been scammed at some point, whether it's a rug pull, whether it's a phishing attack, whether it's a pump and dump. We've got the scars and we've got the war wounds. And if you want to accelerate your journey, as far as self development is concerned, as far as trading is concerned, as far as crypto in general is concerned, jump over to the school, link in the description below, and then we've got a wealth of content to help you accelerate your journey and not make the same mistakes that we've made in the past ourselves. So jump onto Crypto School, and the first thing that we're going to talk about as far as scams concerned is a pump and dump. So what is a pump and dump? You've got a team. You've got an allocation of tokens. The team's holding an allocation of tokens. They're pumping it. They're marketing it. They're getting retail interested. And as it pumps and as it pumps and as it pumps, they use you as exit liquidity to dump the market and then take all of your money. So just an example, this is DO against USDT. And this is an example of a pump and dump. So you can see all the way up, it just nearly hit $1, 98 cents. What we're going to do is we're going to measure it from 98 cents and see what happens when the team sells on the retail. So 98 cents, 98 cents, and we can push it all the way down, all the way down. And you can see we've got, pull it back. You can see that we've got a drop here of 99.93%. So this is a definition of a cryptocurrency that went to zero. Any retail that bought this is holding nothing, a bag of nothing. So this is the importance. We're going to go over how you can prevent that very shortly. And the next one that we're going to be focusing on is called a rug pull. So it's very similar to a pump and dump. And this is one of the most famous rug pulls out there. It is Squid. Now, this was an easy marketing thing because there was something happening on Netflix that made people interested in this thing. It is a copycat of a game on Netflix. So people were interested. They had a big marketing team behind. And what happened as it got pumped? They prevented the sell orders from the retail. So the sell order button wasn't working. They took all the liquidity and the team stole from retail around $3 million on this one. And just an example, how much have we lost? We can measure it again exactly the same from its high here all the way to its low, to where price action is now. That's 99.22%. So any retail that invested in Squid at any given time are holding, again, a bag of zero. So talking about having all of your eggs in one basket, if you had all of your eggs in Squid, you'd have nothing. So spreading your portfolio, having a well-diversified portfolio and understanding exactly what you're invested in is one of the most important things. So you could see if you invested in DO, you'd have nothing. If you invested in Squid, you'd have nothing. And that brings us on to exchanges. And everybody knows this one. It is the most famous one. It is FTX. And this is the vulnerability of having all of your cryptocurrencies on one exchange. Remember, we talk about decentralized wallets, we talk about centralized exchanges. You need to do your own research to find out what's good, what is backed by regulation, what's bad, and you can do that. And we're going to look exactly how you can take the steps to be able to do that yourself very shortly. So with FTX, if you had all of your money in FTX, when FTX crashed, when it went bust, then you'd have a bag of nothing. Now, sometimes regulators get involved, sometimes liquidators get involved. And if there's enough assets, you can be paid back at a later date in the future. So, what happened with FTX? All the people that I know that were invested in FTX got all of their Solana or whatever it was sold to dollars in real time on the day of liquidity, and then they were given the dollar value worth. So Solana was around $7 to $18 during that time. People got $7 to $18 per Solana. They didn't get their allocation of Solana, which would have been much greater now. We know that Solana's hit $200, $250. So basically, they got a limited amount of what it was that they put in there, and you having all of your allocation in one exchange is a vulnerable thing. So one thing that I like to do, I like to research the exchanges, I like to research the decentralized exchanges, I like to research the cold wallets, and I like to spread everything across. In case one thing goes down, then I'm okay as far as the overall portfolio is concerned. So that is three scams. The third one, or the fourth one that I want to talk about, is phishing attacks. Now, we all get emails. There's lots of links with people that are involved in crypto that say, click this link, you can get an airdrop. Click this link, you can get a free allocation of Ethereum. Click this link. Do not ever click any link to do with cryptocurrency. Don't ever do it. Even if it's real, don't do it. You don't know. And this is one of the most rife things out there at the moment. So we've looked at phishing scams, we've looked at rug pulls, we've looked at failed exchanges, we've looked at pump and dumps. Now, let's look at how you can prevent this. And this one's going to be a tough lesson because it is all about you. You've got us to fall back on. You've got all the coaches in school to fall back on. Like I say, we're there to accelerate your journey, but you need to put in the hard work too. So it is you that needs to prevent yourself from being scammed because it's you that is self-custodying. It's you that's holding the assets. It is you that is responsible. So you need to do your own research. And you hear it time and time again, do your own research. But what does that actually mean? So what I'm here on, coin market cap, and I'm looking at Casper here. Let's research Casper together and find out whether we think that this is a credible token or what the probabilities are of this being a pump and dump, a rug pull, any kind of scam or attack. So you can see Casper. The first thing that we're going to look at is up here. So it is 60th in the rankings of the whole of the crypto market. That's quite strong. And it's trading at 0.04611. So this is what we're interested down here. It's got a 1.24 billion market cap. It's got a high market cap. It's got strong volume. And the maximum supply is 28.7 billion Casper. The circulating supply, this is important, circulating supply is 26.92 billion. So we understand one thing, that nearly all of the tokens, all of the Casper is currently in circulation. There's only a little bit left to put in circulation. Now, if this said 5, if this said 2, if this said 3, that would mean to me that at some point there's going to be tokens dumped on the market, and it is supply and it is demand. People can get things cheaper when you flood into the market. And this tells us that because they're all in the market at the moment, we're not going to get any additional flood into the market, which is going to devalue our Casper. So that is a strong thing that you can look at. And I urge each and every single one of you to go through CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko, whatever it is, find out what the ranking is of your cryptocurrency, find out how risky it is, find out the market cap. And then that brings us on to the team. Now, this is the next thing that you can do because a good project has a transparent team. A good project has a transparent team that's on social media. Social media is one of the best places that you can go to find out credibility of a token. And what I want you to look at is firstly, on their white paper, on their website, go and see if you can see Meet the Team. When you can find Meet the Team on there and you've got some names on there, cross-reference that against their Twitter page, find out if they've got a strong following, and that'll give you an indication of whether it's likely to be a scam. We need to know the people behind the project, and that's an important thing. If it's an anonymous team, I wouldn't be bothered. I wouldn't be interested. Stay away from there. I'll move on. If the team is credible, they would be in the limelight. They would put themselves forward. They'd have a strong community, a strong backing, and they'd hold themselves accountable if something went wrong. So, guys, that's a few different scams within crypto, a few ways that you can prevent that. Let me know in the comments if you did find this useful. And don't forget, get yourself over to school. Take care of yourself, and goodbye from me.